So day 9 is Saturday, heading to Hungary, and the border looks busier than it did last night. Typical, but hopefully that's just Lorries on Google that says the traffic. Yeah, aiming to get to Austria today. Didn't quite get into Hungary yesterday, which was my aim yesterday, but I've worked out I need to do about 700 kilometers a day from this point to get back 2.5 days to the Chunnel tunnel. So that's my aim today, 700 kilometers, and it's all highway driving. Interesting feature yesterday at the highways. So I'm going at indicated 90 kilometers an hour in the slow lane. The lorries go faster than me, but there's signs that say the lorries are not allowed in the fast lane, like that sign. So they're all queuing up behind me, unable to overtake. Eventually they did. That's an interesting thing. Hungary's got a minimum speed limit of 80 kilometers an hour on the highway, and I'm basically travelling at 83 from a GPS perspective. Austria I don't think is a minimum. Germany I think there isn't a minimum these days. There kind of used to be a bit of a minimum 60 in the right hand lane. In the slow lane, the middle lane was 90, fast lane 130, but certainly one of the challenges of driving on the highway, if I'm doing a lower speed than most of the traffic in my old beaten up Land Rover, you've just got to manage and kind of be courteous to other users as much as possible. I just took a wrong turn because I was talking to the camera, or rather I carried on and I should have turned off to the Nadlac border. So I've done all of the driving so far has been 1,700 kilometres, and there's 1,800 to the Chunnel tunnel, so I'm about halfway in terms of distance, which is crazy to think I'm going to go in 9 days. So today, go over the halfway mark in terms of driving distance, and so this vehicle has coped with about half of the driving so far. I'm not going to say any more than that. I've developed a steering shimmy this morning, which is annoying because it's right at my cruising speed. So I wasn't doing it yesterday. My suspicion is that it's stopped now. I don't know if it's on power or on a slight curve or uphill yet, but my suspicion is maybe when the tyres are heated up, it's better, or it disappears. I had a vague suspicion of it yesterday morning, but can't confirm. Now I've been going 26 kilometers, the steering shake's settled down a lot. I've noticed that once it's warmed up, when I go, just a few kph over 90, that's when the grinding occurs. So it's definitely something from being warmed up. I still think UJ's. First lorry of the day. Turkey, yeah, the Turkish ones don't seem to have a problem overtaking me. I tried to slow down a bit when they overtake, just to give them, let them get past as quick as possible. We're approaching the border. There is a queue. That's quite a beefy queue actually. Seems like everyone had the same idea this morning. There's a British car just in front of me. I did the next one in front. Found myself with a prodigious use of clutch in first gear. Things are moving a bit faster. I've been at 18 minutes so far. So, 4th border done. That's an important one. Now in the Schengen, which means there's no more borders until Chunnel tunnel. 4th border, 5th country now, 5th language, 5th currency. Had to get a vignette here. It's quite expensive, 18 euros for a day. I think it's the most expensive one. That took 32 minutes. And I ended up going in the bus lane. It does help a bit if you're a bit bullish at the borders, but this guy said to go around, this guy hawking stuff said go around into that lane that no one was in, and a few other people went around there, and it ends up being the bus lane. Oh well, they're letting buses, there were hardly any buses. I'm going to drive for 200k or so and then stop. And also lost an hour, well we've gone back an hour, so I've gained an hour. There's an absolute ton of traffic coming south from Budapest towards Serbia and Romania, and hardly anything where I'm going north, which is good. I'm expecting more traffic in Germany and Austria. Rolling roadworks, I think they're chopping the hedge down the middle. Yeah. Fuel economy is interesting today. So normally, needle on the fuel gauge to drop to full. I know, crazy system, right? I have been getting 220 to 25 kilometres. Here I'm on 193 as it's hitting full. So I wonder if that is, well, I did half an hour of idling at the border, which I couldn't avoid because every minute you'd move another half car length, so there was no opportunity to turn the engine off really. And it can't be the highway driving, I don't think, because I've been returning about 30 mpg. So 30 mpg does about 220. I have to monitor that. That was a quick stop, Hungarian services, toilets out of order, and then you go to the petrol station and you need coins. Bloody hell, it's not worth it. Coins and forints. Really hard to select reverse. I noticed this morning and yesterday, even the pedal down as far as it will go, because there's no synchros in reverse, it's difficult to, it just won't go enough to really mash it in. Okay, Budapest. I was having a look under the bonnet and this guy came up to have a look and admire. He said, "Is it broken?" I said, "No, just checking." He said, "This is a very old car. No air conditioning." I said, "No." Although, according to the flaps, it gave him a giggle. So I've done 230 kilometres this morning since Romania. Another 230 I've got dialed in. I'm basically leapfrogging from services to services. Or let's say just doing 250 kilometres at a time, something like that. So I can keep making decisions and just rest my legs and that kind of stuff. One thing you have to learn with different road signs is, does the sign above the lane mean that's where the lane goes? Or does it just generally mean there's a turn off? Oh, there we go, so we've got arrows straight ahead, that's good, so this lane won't peel off. Because you never know. Different countries do it differently. It's the Danube again. Well, I'm through Budapest, a lot of traffic there. Real headwind at the moment. Like, there's a few hills here, the rest of Hungary was flat, but there is a real headwind. You know, in a Defender, in a 300 TDI, you can, drivers of modern vehicles or modern engines don't know what a headwind is, but yeah, you can feel the headwind. When you're just like, you've got quite a lot of turbo for this speed, why am I using more turbo than now? And it's generally a headwind. So yeah, struggling a bit here, lots of traffic all around me. This is our first sign of minimum speed. So this has no minimum speed, the middle lane is 70 is minimum, and left hand lane 110 is minimum. And the lorry overtake restriction is ended, which is good for me. Hopefully it will stay as 3 lanes for a while. The minimum speed, oh no, it's ending. The minimum speed is blue circle with white writing. Lorry doesn't want to go past me. There is a lot of traffic going the other way, which is my suspicion, or has been my suspicion of what happens in July. Fingers crossed and all that. Another lorry. Well, Hungary-Austria border, there's a toll plaza, which one of the borders I hadn't really researched. Hoping it's going to be able to read my number plate. The clutch is getting harder and harder. I think I'm just jamming using the synchros more than anything to get in the first gear when it's stationary. I've come in the services because literally right after the toll gate, because the guy was like, "Stop, documents, car documents, passport," and he was like, "Oh, Armenian car, oh, British passport, go carry on." So I basically had to get all my documents out. I had this pathological fear that like I'm going to lose the card down somewhere and then it's going to slip between the lid where it's not attached. Be gone forever. Just having a quick look around. Any leaks or anything like that? This is becoming my habit now, because I've done so much highway driving. Oh, temperature's lovely here in Austria. It's a lot lower. Right, next leg. Country number 6. Currency number 6. 3-lane highways are good. Makes me a lot more comfortable driving at 90. What is this structure? We've got like a recurved sea wall or bobsleigh track. There are some long hills in Austria. Ooh, down in the fourth for this hill. So we're going up for like 7 kilometres. We're over 500 metres in one hill. We're still not at the top. Sort of hills you don't get in the UK. You can quite easily overheat an old vehicle not built to cope with these sort of hills. But now we've got 3 lanes. We've got a crawler lane. I can crawl up in 4th gear. The Beetle, someone else in an old car. Step by step, just like a light. Low fuel, it came on at 7:22. Well, I had a stop in Austria near Wels. Wels. Don't park there. Filled the tank up. I stopped at one of the rest areas because you're like, oh right, let's stop here and see what happens. Fuel was €2.09 per litre, so that's about £1.75 per litre, which is ridiculous. So I use this website, this Austrian website, the link's on the screen. You can find petrol stations like you can with petrolprices.com in the UK, and found one that's 156 just down there, which is a lot easier, a lot better. About £1.31 per litre, which is great for a fill up. Now I'm going to head into Germany, about 2 hours or so, 140 kilometres, stay there for the night. Hotels are getting more expensive, €82 for this one, but so be it. Hopefully I've only got this night and tomorrow night in hotels, we'll see. Floods of traffic coming from Germany, and not so much going this way. Coming up on Germany. Wow, look at the queue. What is that queue for? Oh, maybe, I have no idea. Willkommen aus Deutschland. There's the Ruhr. It's not the Danube, is it? I need to Google that, see what river that is. Look at the queues, man. So this is country number 7, and the 4th country today. There we go, Bundesrepublik Deutschland. That is an incredibly big queue to go south from Germany. Wow, there are a lot of Germans. I mean, the German summer holidays I think started this week, and this is really, I've just got in, I think. Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow, but so I'm hoping that most of the traffic we're heading south. Having looked at Google Maps today, a bit of Germany, it seems that most of the traffic is on the southbound sides of the motorway. Heading north to the colder climes, whilst everyone's heading for the sun for the summer holidays. The weather's been lovely this afternoon. It's been cloudy and chilly. Oh, it's amazing to not sat sweating in your seat compared to yesterday when it was 38 degrees when I was finishing. Welcome to the Autobahn! Oh. Wow, there are some fast BMWs going past near my little British anachronism of a vehicle. Day 10, treated myself to a new t-shirt. I have been washing my grey t-shirt every day anyway. And today is hopefully Belgium. Did 870 kilometres yesterday, and we're going to try and push as far as possible into Belgium. It's about 810 to get to Belgium. There's a Sunday in Germany. Hopefully it's going to be a quiet one. Not just any Sunday, but today is the final between England and Spain in the Euro Championships in Germany. So I'm probably, well, all being well, I won't be here to watch it when it happens. So we've come down to the 4 mark, and it's only 176 kilometres, which is what I was wondering about yesterday, but I think I've figured it out. All the countries up to Bulgaria are attendance. You don't fill your own. Whereas from Romania, yesterday morning, I did Romania and Austria, I filled it myself, and I only filled to the first click, whereas attendants tend to brim it off. So I think that kind of the depth of the filler neck, that is the length of the spout of the fuel pump dispenser, constitutes about 40 or 50 kilometres of range. Yeah, that explains it. I was thinking, oh, have I got a fuel leak or something, or why is my economy getting worse? But my economy's been about the same. So, first stop, problem. So, lights off, side lights, headlights, nothing. So I think that is the headlight switch. Probably melted through because I've been driving, well, it was on for about 11 hours yesterday. And the day before that it was on a lot, and the day before that it was on a lot. All these countries that require you to have your headlights on in the day when it's 38 degrees, and I think it's melted the headlight switch, which I've never had happen to myself, but I know that it's not uncommon. Can't turn the headlights on, which I don't think is a problem because I'm not planning on driving in the night. I decided yesterday the speed that some of the vehicles overtake on the Autobahn, I don't really want to be driving at night. I don't want to be just those two little red lights, and they're like, is that? Oh shit! Yeah, someone driving really slowly on the Autobahn. All right, let's get a coffee. What a beautiful day in Germany it was. This is a new leak. That is steering box oil dripping off the radius arm. It's getting swept back this way. That's making all this oily. Dripping off the anti-roll bar mount. That's crazy. The German viewers will be proud. I'm planning out my German journey. So where are we now? Just past. Oh, you got greasy, dirty fingers. This phone. Just past Nuremberg. Something happened there once, I think. Go past Frankfurt, and then I've found a petrol station around about the range. And so it seems to be like over €2 a litre if you pull off at the surfaces. But I've just found a place just off the Autobahn motorway with some just normal price of fuel. The services though, you stop in the services, you've got to pay to have a shit. €1 a pop. You're in the slow lane of the carry on forwards, but people around you. Got it, plane. Flughafen. I've visited there many times but never been out. There's a plane going over the road. Right, filled up the tank. Did 644 kilometres on that tank. Now I'm going to head to Belgium, probably about 4 hours away. Crossing through a little bit of the Netherlands. That'll be country 8 and 9. Another great example of finding a petrol station. That one worked a treat. €1.60. Very good. Lots of traffic now. Sunday afternoon in western Germany. Niederlande. And if by magic we've changed from route 4 to route 76, A76. And that is now country 8, although we're only going to be here for about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Does that count as a country? There's a lovely herd of cattle. And over this river, Belgium, country number 9.
411 tussen Jezusrijk en het Leonardskruispunt Fries.
Wow, traffic in Belgium is intense. Right, near Brussels, I need to now book somewhere. I've got probably 2.5 hours of driving where I can drive without headlights. Let's see the ideal. I want to get as far as possible towards the Chunnel. 117 kilometres. What would that be? That's doable. Oh, look at the traffic in Brussels. That's nasty. Yeah, but I mean, I've just been in it. It's getting heavy, but so be it. I think it's worth pushing on. And then it's just that little bit, and that means I can get in it earlier. I've got more options for getting the Chunnel, because a lot of the trains tomorrow are sold out already. I didn't want to book until I actually knew that I was going to be there. Hotel booked, another one, booking.com. 117 kilometres away. Man. Big bunch of traffic to get through. I've just done 4 hours straight and my leg is aching, my accelerated leg is aching. My bum's not so sore today, it was sore yesterday, but things we do, hey? Check out the Santana, that's the closest thing I've seen to a Defender the whole journey.
Dus ik heb nog tijd.
That was the only Defender I've seen so far in Europe. Can you believe that? The Chunnel tunnel is booked for tomorrow morning. About 11 o'clock. So I've got some time, I can have a lie in. The thought of not having to do 13 hours driving in a day is amazing. Whoa, 1-1.